Welcome to the Mom Boss Podcast, the show where motherhood meets business and everything in between. I hope you enjoyed today's show. Let's get started. Hey everyone, and welcome to the Mom Boss Podcast. I'm your host, Bailey Gordon, and I am so happy that you're here today. This is going to be a brief episode. I love doing these, just like the thoughts that are going through my head. It may not make any sense to you, but I honestly hope that these episodes resonate more with you than anything that I ever post, even on just Instagram. I want these to make you feel seen. I want you to feel less alone. I want you to feel like, oh my gosh, other people are going through this too. And that's honestly the whole point of this whole podcast, is just to share stories about moms who own their own businesses, share knowledge and education, but also share feelings and emotions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk today about friendship. As moms, it becomes so difficult to not only make friends, but maintain your friendships. There's this really odd time between birth and when your kids get to be about school age or activity age, where you're meeting other people and other moms, and other parents and things like that. But what do you do in these first 5 to 6 years of your kid's life? One thing is, it's so easy when you're in school or when you have a job, like where you go to work with coworkers, or when you're in college, things like that, or on sports teams, to make friends, because you are put in a position where proximity is a big deal. You are around those people, you live near them, or you are around them all the time. So proximity is huge. Your personal interests, so things that you're interested in, if you're working at the same place, you probably have the same similar interests, or you gravitate towards people who do, and you go out and grab margaritas with them after work or whatever. And personalities, like you might get along, you might jive with someone who has a personality that meshes really well with yours. It's really hard to figure out all of that when you're a mom. And so I want to talk today about the importance of community, and while still maintaining and nurturing friendships that you've had for a really long time, and also not being afraid to step outside that box and meet new women in your community that are doing things similarly to you. When the pandemic happened, I am an ENFP, Enneagram 7, ADHD to the max. If there's some kind of a spectrum for ADHD, like I am hard in the paint that way, undiagnosed or not undiagnosed, unmedicated. I've apparently been diagnosed, you guys. Okay, that's a whole other podcast episode, but let's go. I digress. But as far as friendships go, when the pandemic happened, I was a new mom. I had just had 4-month-old twins. Like the girls, oh gosh, you guys, it was so wild. Oh, I don't ever want to experience that again. The loneliness, the anxiety, the depression, the low feeling that you just felt because you're a new mom. You don't know what you're doing. You're so alone, and you're waiting for those friends to just show up at your door and come in and stay a while. And while that happened periodically, it stopped after a while. And of course, during the pandemic, people were very aware and made sure that you felt comfortable with people coming over into your space, which I'll say I didn't feel comfortable for a long time. And gosh, I wish I could go back and tell that mom to let those people in her home or whatever, or go out and do that thing. Hindsight's 2020. Ugh, never want to say those two words again. 2020. Okay, anyway, 2020 was great. It brought a lot of really good things and really weird things. But okay, so friendship. I think that as growing up, I was always the girl who would walk into the cafeteria room and I could sit at any of the stereotypical high school tables. I could sit with the jocks, I could sit with the popular crowd, I could sit with the ASB leadership kids, I could sit with the drama kids, I could sit with the honor roll kids, and I could fit in pretty well. And honestly, for a long time, I felt like that was a negative thing. I felt because I didn't what's the word? I didn't run with one crowd. I felt like that was to my detriment. I didn't get to form the deep connections that I really like. I used to think that was a bad thing. I used to think that because I didn't form those deep connections, that there was something wrong with me. However, even just recently, as of like yesterday, I was thinking to myself, gosh, maybe I was that kid in high school so that I could create a community where everyone felt welcome, where I could welcome in someone from this walk of life and this walk of life. I can empathize with a large group of people. And maybe that's why I'm finding what I can do now, what I'm really good at. And that's creating community. And that's why the Mom Boss exists. The Mom Boss Meetup are in-person meetup groups that meet once a month. This was born because as a mom who runs her own business, I felt insanely lonely. There were times when I would want to know something about running a business and I didn't know who to go to. I didn't have thousands of dollars to spend on a business coach. I didn't have a co-working space where I could work with other women who were doing things similar to me, aka building a business and raising small children. I felt just so alone, and I was like, gosh, this has to change. I need to create a place that women feel welcome while building their businesses and raising babies. And it doesn't matter if your kids are out of the house or if you aren't even, if you're just thinking about getting pregnant. I'm looking for a space with good vibes where it's a social club and it meets those, it fills that bucket, that social bucket where I can meet other women, engage with them in conversation, laugh with them, joke with them, and just have a really good time. But also, they know what it's like to run a business, so they can help me if I have questions, or I can help them if they have questions. We can push each other up. We can help each other up the ladder instead of taking the ladder away, becoming totally isolated, and just working on our own right here, just like in this tunnel. We are all better if we help others become better. And that is I just felt very strongly about that, and that's honestly, I made this group so that I could make friends who had the same interests as me, and nothing against, like, my friends that I've had for a long time. We are just not in the same proximity, like, we are either not in the same city, or maybe their kids are at different ages, or maybe they work during the day, but I can work whenever I want, or maybe their kids are in school and mine aren't yet. And so there's just all these different things that lead to, and this is a word that I don't know if this word is the correct word, but a strain on that relationship because you so badly want to hold on to that relationship and how it was and not letting it change and adapt because you have changed and adapt. You have changed and adapted. Let me add on some more letters to that word. But you have changed yourself, and that's okay. And not everybody is going to like that change. Not everyone is going to appreciate or support that change. And you do have to fill your bucket with supportive, like minded women. And that doesn't mean they have to agree with you on everything. That doesn't mean they have to be your best friends. It's just helping you find a village, a support system, and essentially a team that can help you get to where you want to go. We cannot do this life alone. Holding on to those friendships you've had for a long time, nurturing them, making sure you're staying in communication, making sure you're getting something on the calendar or you have a group thread or you're constantly like making sure to put a little bit of work into that, even though you might not get to see those people every day. They still play an incredibly important role in your life. And hopefully there are people who are supporting you and building you up and being like, yeah, girl, go get it. Go get your dreams. Make that come true. So keep those people, hold on to them tight, and then find people in your community that can help you get to where you want to go business wise. And bonus, if they have kids around the same age and you guys can all get together and play. It is it's a game changer. It is a game changer. Now, unfortunately, a lot of my friends have moved away from me and are living in other states or faraway cities. And so we still connect over audio. I send a lot of audio messages. It makes a lot of sense. I'm now a podcaster, you guys. It just makes a lot of sense. I send like mini podcast episodes to my friends. But I'm so grateful for every friendship that has ever entered my life Because what's funny is once you enter, like, you're in it for life. A few months ago, I texted a friend who was my best friend. We were like 15 and 16, and we have not spoken in years. And I just randomly texted her because I had seen something that reminded me of her. And we just picked right up where we left off. In fact, we were both a little bit more woo. Like, we were both really into human design and like our astrological charts and where our moon was. And I'm actually not sure where the moons go in the different places, but it's just stuff like that where like you get to connect with people who just jive with you and they were in your life for a reason. And it's okay if you take a step back from that friendship for a minute and then you just rekindle it when the time becomes right again. And it sucks. Like, I am the person who wants to like talk to all my best friends every single day. And that's just not feasible. If you're like that too, then I get you and I feel you. But also at the same time, I am horrible because I will forget you exist. And that is not on anyone's fault of your own. But if you are out of sight, sometimes you're out of mind. It's an ADHD thing. And no one is going to get it unless you are ADHD too. And I'm so sorry. So for those what is it called? Oh, it's neurotypical. I just heard this phrase and it was saying neuro vanilla, and it's my favorite phrase of all time now. But anyway, but neurotypical people, you're not going to understand why your ADHD friend goes missing for, like, you're like, I haven't heard from that person in so long. It's probably because you dropped out of this immediate portion of their text messages and they don't see your name, or you're not on their Instagram top 5 stories. So they don't see your stuff. And it's not that they forget you exist. Their brain can only hold so much. And so it's funny because like, I love my friends and I love nurturing those friendships and I'm pretty good at it, but also I can be really bad at it. So, you know, I'm just here to say if that's you too, I see you and I understand. And if you have forgotten about me as your friend, that's fine because I probably like same, like ditto. But anyway, I want you, it's the beginning of the year still. I want you to make it a goal to one, nurture the friendships that bring you the good vibes, that are supporting you in all aspects, motherhood, friendship, all the things. And then, and of course, your business, like they want to see you succeed. But also find women in your community, whether that's by coming to a community group, there are several, and it's becoming even more popular, or by finding a mom and me class, or by making friends with somebody at the PTA. I don't know. Is that how that works? Do you make friends at the PTA? I'm not there yet. I haven't made it to the PTA yet. Whatever the case may be, start to reach out. Put yourself out there. Put yourself in situations to start to pull yourself out of the loneliness tunnel that motherhood and entrepreneurship can put you in. Not having coworkers is a big deal. So finding friends who are business owners, who are mothers, and who just straight up get it. Wow, it's a game changer. It's important, and you deserve that in your life. I hope you know that, and I hope that you find your group, whether that is an online community or an in-person community. Honestly, it's a game changer. So please look around for your community or send me a message on at the Mom Boss Meetup on Instagram and I will help connect you. I will find you somebody. I promise you I will, because I am so passionate about helping make sure that you feel good in this world and feel supported that I will take the time to help you do that. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. Make sure to leave a review. I don't actually know. Do you like rate it and review it? But review it and feel free to let me know what you think. All right. Have a good one.